Hello everybody, we are here with a timeless reading. Before we get started, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with the highest good. There's something here that you're figuring out. We're starting off with the Fool. This is a very exciting time, definitely. There can be a lot of things that are feeling new or different for you in some area of your life, but that means that there's a lot to explore, but know that you don't have to get it all done in one day. There can be this feeling of wanting to rush through something and explore it all very quickly, but I'm seeing that there's really not a rush. I'm seeing your guides be like, take your time to familiarize yourself with this newness within your life, this new chapter, this new period, this new thing that you're doing. It can be like a new relationship, it can be a new place, it can be something that's come into your life. It can be like a new activity that you're exploring. I think we said relationship, something like that. It can also just be a new place that you feel you're in right now. Some of you just feel more lit up and connected. But again, I'm seeing there be this message from your guides saying that you're not gonna lose anything by going at a comfortable pace. Yeah, I'm getting confirmation of this. Hold on. Specifically, there will always be enough time. Always. Especially if you're aligning with synchronicities and also allowing your inspiration to motivate the choices that you're making too. There will always be enough time. But yeah, I'm seeing something that there's a lot of unexplored territory here. It would seem. So you may be, I'm hearing bed rest. For some of you, you could be recovering and taking care of your health right now. For some of you, you could feel that it's really important for you to get the rest that you need. But I'm seeing it be this balance between exploring the newness and seeing what's going on and following your inspiration and whatever it is that you feel motivated to learn about or experience, explore, and then also this resting of making sure that you're eating what you need to, that you're getting enough sleep, that you're drinking enough water, that you're calming your mind and getting quiet when you need to. There can be a person that you've been thinking about, that you may be worrying about your relationship with them. I'm seeing something about an offer coming through. I'm hearing that things haven't felt easy with this person. It's definitely you and someone else. It's worrying over what you've invested into a relationship. I'm seeing a tower. I'm also seeing the Queen of Swords here. Where are we gonna put this? Where does this belong? Maybe over here. Something could have happened and had you pop up in this place where you felt like the best way to deal with this would be like an analytical, like mental approach. Okay, so it's like this. Something had been going on between you and another person, and I'm seeing like at least one of the parties be like sort of upset about what's been going on within the dynamic, and all what's being shown is that the person feels upset, maybe not so much because of the relationship, and more so like I invested all of this in that. So take that as you want, interpret that as you want. What I'm seeing is that it's like something hasn't been working clearly. There's been instability here, and now it seems like the tower is happening. So it's kind of like it's like this. You got 65% of the way done with this like house that you were building with this person in mind, and you have like that rest of the way that needs to go here for you to complete this, and you're like somewhat close to being finished with it, and then the tower comes down and like decimates the whole thing. Like it gets completely wrecked. And the way that you take this is getting into a space where you may be intellectualizing this. I'm getting confirmation of that as well. Okay, so tower happens. You're on guard because tower is like in the midst of happening, but I get that like other people may not know that you're going through this right now. And so because you sort of, I feel like this thing is happening and you like put a curtain in front of it, so like nobody knows that this tower is happening, and you're like sitting in front of the curtain and somebody's now coming in to approach you. And so you may be very guarded with this person that's coming through, and they're just seeing you on stage. Like they're not realizing there's a whole tower crumbling behind you, because I'm seeing you like have it blocked off. So they're coming around being like, hey, what's going on? You know, like just chatting with you, whatever it is that they're doing. And you just may be coming off a type of way because you have this going on, but know that they don't know. I feel like your guides want you to be able to see like from this person's perspective that's addressing you, and know that they don't know what's going on with you. So also like act accordingly within this situation. Like know that this person can't read your mind, and it looks like you're purposely like covering something so they don't know what's going on anyway. So just be mindful of that, because if they're coming through and like not acting like they know, it's because they don't know. Because I can get this sense of something going on where it's like you have something happening that looks like a big deal within your life, but because you're sort of like masking this thing that's going on, this person coming through has like no clue that you're going through something that feels very big. And so they may be just coming through in a way where there's like not a recognition of that, and you may feel a type of way about that because you're like, look at all this stuff that I'm going through, but they don't know. So make sure you move through this with like mindfulness and compassion towards this person, because like what they're focused on is like what they're bringing to the table with you, but I'm seeing you're like really armed and guarded right now just because of the tower that either like recently happened or is still happening, kind of, because I'm seeing you be aware of the tower. So it feels like there's an acceptance of this. But there's something going on in another area of your life. The energy is definitely like, it doesn't feel fluid the way that it's coming out. It feels segmented. You may feel like the energy is kind of broken up that you're swimming through right now. Like I'm even seeing like different timelines or like series that you're kind of hopping into, and then you go into another one. Like, you may have things going on in different areas of your life that don't seem all like interconnected yet at this point. Okay. So, to have the Fool and the Magician, this speaks about entering into a space where you're trying to create like nothing like you've ever created before within your life. And that's taking a lot of energy, because there's a lot of like just your original authenticity and just like what's coming through and what you're receiving organically that you're really trying to like tap into. So I'm getting you be like at a very highly creative like peak right now, but I'm getting it also feel kind of tiring as well. You know, when you get like these bursts of energy, and then it also balances, like, because you get so high up like within these bursts of energies, you also have to take that time to like rest and recover from it. I'm sort of getting a like up and down that's been going on a bit within the energy. Fluctuations, it can feel like. But yeah, you may be getting like all of these ideas of like, what am I going to create now? Like, what am I trying to manifest within my life? I just get you being in a space where you may have like a lot of ideas. Like Uranus and Mercury, it's like a lot of out of the box, outside of the box ideas that are coming through to you. Like just looking at everything through that sort of higher up lens. But I'm also seeing you be in hermit mode too. So this is reminding me of like Dexter's laboratory. Like you're getting all of these ideas and having all of these like experiments that you're doing. Like nobody really knows what's going on with you. I'm seeing it be that sort of thing where you're sort of like keeping to yourself and like writing all of your ideas down, maybe working on projects, stuff like that. But I'm seeing it be like contained. So that's where I'm seeing like one aspect of the energy. Then I'm seeing so that's you. It feels like within I feel this is a very personal energy over here. I feel like then there's like an interpersonal, a close connection of yours that something's going on with. And then I'm seeing there's also something else going on over there. So I'm seeing like 3 different like timelines sort of happening like parallel to one another that you're involved in some way in each of them. So this one that I'm seeing over here, it's like a lot of creative genius types of things that are going on where you're sort of like keeping it on the DL, what this is that you're doing over here. So I'm seeing a lot of thinking, a lot of like connecting with your guides, like getting inspiration, like having all of these ideas, like wanting to explore, wanting to create things, feeling like you're getting a lot of downloads. Like that's what's happening over here. So that feels like it's just privately between like you and your guides that's happening here. Then we hop over here to a dynamic that you have with someone. I want to pull 3 cards for this one and see what's going on here. You might have to get creative with something if you're going to work through it. And that can also be sort of why you're keeping to yourself right now. Because you may feel like that's how you're going to get the outcome you want. Chariot and the Ace of Swords, this would be like, I know what strategy is needed to move through this. And then 4 of Pentacles is recognizing that there may be something that you're holding on to tightly too. What I'm getting to is that you could have been fighting against the flow of the energy. And so the Tower came through and actually ripped something away from you. This is what I'm seeing. This is about prioritizing what's important to you. Yeah, with 7 of Pentacles and the 4 of Pentacles, it's almost like like an overflow of energy where it got kicked back in some way. So I'm seeing something going on between you and another person. I'm seeing there be movement here. And I'm seeing there also be an acknowledgement of like, oh, that's why I was so upset, or that's why I was so bothered, or they could be telling you what was wrong with them, or you're realizing like what had you feeling frazzled. I feel like something had really been stressing you out, and now you're realizing what that is. And you had been investing in something, but holding on to it so tightly that it was like fighting the flow of the energy. And I'm seeing a tower come through and be like, you can't do that, and like knock this all away. But it's only because something was out of balance. But it could have been something where you were like, I invested all of this time and energy, and then the tower comes through and is like, no, you don't. It's like you're going to make the winning shot and the tower just like stuffs you and the ball goes nowhere, you know? And you may feel like you lost the game in that moment. But the thing is that like the tower is not good, the tower is not bad, the tower is neutral. It's just rebalancing nature. So something was growing out of balance. I feel like you were trying to invest in something that was out of balance, and you would know this because you would have been holding so tightly to it. It wouldn't have felt like easy and natural. And that's how you know something is going against the flow. When you move with the flow of things and when you're aligned with like your dharmic path, things just flow naturally, like going downstream in a river. There's no friction. But I'm seeing like you may have really wanted something to happen between you and a person in a particular way, and it was just like so stressful. Like I'm seeing you just be at a 9, like 9 out of 10 all the time with like your stress and like mentally, and it just feeling like very exhausting. And you could have been at a point where you recognize like, oh, it's this thing that I've been investing in between myself and this person. However, you were like unwilling to let it go. So the tower came through and is like, I'll let it go for you, and smacks it out of your hand. So that's what I'm seeing happen here. But it could have been hard because I'm seeing like you and this person went through things. So you could have felt like you were making it somewhere with them. But it was still against the flow is what I'm seeing. So even though like certain things were working with this person, overall, this was going against the flow of things. And so the tower is just coming through and rebalancing. I'm getting it be like this too. It's almost like it's something that you recognize needed to be done, but we were maybe unwilling to do, like unwilling to let go of, because you're like, well, I spent all of this time doing it, you know, even though you knew it was out of alignment. Because I'm getting there's a recognition here of, oh, I wouldn't be feeling this way if this were in alignment. I wouldn't be at a 9 out of 10 with like my stress level and all of that if this were in alignment. So there's like this recognition here, but you were still like unwilling to let it go just because of like how much you invested into this, of like your time and your energy, you know, and really like wanting it so badly. But it's like in that like grasping at something that's like out of alignment, even though you were recognizing it, like making that choice to still like, you recognize it's out of alignment, but we're still like unwilling to like let it disintegrate. The tower basically made the choice for you. So moving forward, you can look at this and be like, next time I recognize that I'm doing something that's out of alignment, I know how this ends because of what I'm experiencing right now. So this is something that you can avoid in the future too, because it's that moment of recognizing this is out of alignment, but I'm still going to do it anyway. Because when something's in alignment, it's going to be easy. Like there's not going to be resistance. So yeah, now I'm seeing you understand like why the tower happened. This feels kind of like, it reminds me, what's the word for it? It reminds me of like when somebody's inside of an experiment and then they're like on the outside of it, like after the thing is done, a debriefing. That's what's happening. I feel like your guides are giving you a debriefing here about like why that happened. and what to do next time too, because I'm seeing that something's going on right now where you may be called to, there's something that you're being called to do to make sure you're not setting up another situation like this. But I'm getting that you have a choice here. I keep seeing the Hierophant on the bottom of the deck. So you realize that the only way to move through this is to release something, which with the Tower, it almost feels like that decision is sort of being made for you or pushing you almost all the way to making this choice. So I'm seeing that be realized here. I'm seeing that from you like exploring this and reflecting on it, you like getting the information that you needed about what's been going on. I'm seeing you've been spending time reflecting too, to see the bigger picture, and now you're understanding like what's meant to change and how this is actually going to change things for you, because it's rebalancing things. So this is like getting you onto a track where you're not going to have to experience a Tower, because you're on a track that's aligned with flow, the flow of the energy. Okay. I am seeing too that like somebody wants to know what's been going on with you, but you may feel kind of private about what you have going on, and maybe not wanting to have a conversation. Like, you can ask this question, but you can't ask that question. Like that sort of conversation that you have with someone. But this person is asking you questions because they want to come through and give an offer to you. And they're just, this person is trying to sort of like figure out the timing, it seems, of when it would be best to do this. Because they may come across like they're just poking around, but I'm seeing there be like an intention to make an offer. So yeah, there's an offer that's going to come through, but I'm seeing the timing of this. There's something very particular about the timing here with when this is going to happen. So I'm seeing you be in a spot where I feel like things feel very unfamiliar for you where you are right now. And I'm seeing you kind of like take it all in, and then like trying to be present where you are, and then take time to like reflect on what that means to you. I'm seeing you dealing with like relationship stuff that you're moving through. I'm seeing something that was like feeling really challenging, but then I'm seeing you like understand like why you were feeling the way that you were feeling, and like where all of that was coming from, and just like a breakdown of this whole process that you've been moving through. So that's what I'm seeing here. Virgo, Cancer, Gemini, the Sun, Jupiter, Mars, Uranus, Mercury. Okay, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.